let's get to work on attaching our binding. What I've done is I've put my little cheater piece with a little folded size up. I'm putting that, pick a spot a few inches away from the corners. It could be the top, it could be on the bottom, it can be on either side, doesn't matter. So pick a spot just a couple inches away from the corner and go ahead and take your binding and open it up all the way. You can see there's 3 fold lines, left, right, and center. Go ahead and put that just about in the middle of our little cheater piece, and then put a clip on that to hold that while we get ready to sew it. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be sewing just to the right of this first fold line. That way when we fold this all the way over to the back, there's enough fabric to catch it when we sew it there. So go ahead and start just on this piece of binding, not on the cheater piece, not on the quilt. Go ahead and start on the binding and sew down till you're about a 1/4 inch away from the corner. You can do that by looking off to this, peeking under the side, or lifting your presser foot while the needle is down and seeing how close you are to the side. Okay, I've sewed till I'm about a 1/4 inch away from the side. I can, with my needle in the down position, I can lift up my presser foot and take a peek and say, yeah, I'm about a 1/4 inch away. I'm going to leave my presser foot up and the needle down, and I'm going to rotate my project, what ends up being about 45 degrees, until I can sew off that corner, which will end up being 4 or 5 stitches. So I'm going to sew off the corner, 5 stitches. And then either hit your cut button or cut the threads. From here, I'll take this over here so you can see it easier. I'm going to rotate my project. I'm going to take my binding and I'm going to fold it all the way up and give that a little bit of a press. So that way I want this piece right here to be nice and straight with that piece right there. And you're going to fold that down a bit. Give it a little finger press. You don't need to iron it. It's not that big of a thing. Press that down, and then you're going to fold it back on itself, making a nice little wing. You want this edge right here to match up with the edge of our project. So line up your piece of binding with the edge of your quilt. If you want to, put a clip on the top, and you're going to continue sewing. I put a clip up here to hold this wing down. I'm not going to put any clips on here because this project moves around a lot. I am every few inches going to make sure that the edge of my binding is lining up with the edge of my project. And for what I'm doing, I'm lining that up with the edge of my presser foot. Again, you've got your 3 fold lines here, left, right, and center. You want to be sewing just to the right of just to the right of the far right fold line. Every few inches, just reposition your binding, keeping it nice and taut, but without stretching it. You're going to sew till you're about a 1/4 inch away. Then with your needle in the down position, you're going to lift up your presser foot. You're going to rotate your project so you can sew off the corner at what would end up being about a 45-degree angle. It shouldn't be more than 4 or 5 stitches. Then you're going to hit the cut button. Bringing that out again. I'm going to fold this all the way up and put a little bit of a crease in it right there like that. So that way this is going nice and straight. So this lines up with the edge of our project. And then I'm going to fold it down on itself again. Bring that over to your sewing machine. Start just on the project. Every few inches you're going to readjust your binding so it's lined up really well with the edge of your project. And sew all the way down. And you're going to do that all the way around. I'm going to skip the next couple corners because I think you've seen them by now.